Chinese Premier Li Qiang has stated that China and Egypt should consistently facilitate two-way trade and investment.
Egyptian Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has welcomed Chinese Premier Li Qiang at Cairo International Airport.
在开罗同埃及总理马德布利举行会谈。李强表示，中方是
What if Egypt and China reshaped global trade by ditching the dollar? Today, we dive into groundbreaking financial deals propelling their partnership forward. These key agreements signal a new era of economic cooperation, digital payments, and currency innovation, strengthening one of the world's most promising trade relationships. Egypt-China financial cooperation. Financial collaboration between Egypt and China has rapidly transformed into a vital axis supporting their expanding strategic and economic partnership. Rooted in over 6 decades of diplomatic ties, this cooperation underpins key trade, investment, and infrastructure projects aligned with Egypt's Vision 2030 and China's Belt and Road Initiative. Both nations have implemented agreements focused on enhancing financial channels, fostering digital innovation, and integrating payment systems to reduce transactional costs. Central to this partnership is mutual trust and shared goals of sustainable development and regional connectivity. Egypt, now a BRICS member alongside China, benefits from increased Chinese investment, credit facilities, and expertise, reinforcing its position as a regional trade and energy hub and deepening financial integration between the two economies. Overview of recent key trade agreements signed. In July 2025, Egypt and China reinforced their economic ties by signing a series of landmark trade agreements spanning e-commerce, green development, finance, and health sectors. The memoranda focus on enhancing bilateral trade facilitation, local currency settlements, and digital currency collaboration, reflecting a strategic move towards reducing reliance on third-party currencies. These agreements also promote cooperation in low-carbon projects and development assistance, aligning with Egypt's ambition to become a regional energy and logistics hub. Financial cooperation includes expanding Yuan trade settlements and joint fintech innovation. This comprehensive package underscores the alignment of Egypt's national development agenda and China's BRI, setting the stage for deeper institutional coordination and mutual economic growth. Details on the currency swap agreement between Egypt and China. The currency swap agreement between Egypt and China, signed by their central banks, facilitates direct exchanges of their national currencies to support bilateral trade and investment. Valued at billions of yuan, this mechanism minimizes dependence on foreign currencies such as the US dollar, reducing exchange rate volatility and transactional costs for businesses in both countries. It also enhances liquidity by allowing banks in Egypt and China to access local currency funds when needed, fostering financial stability. This arrangement demonstrates strong monetary trust and secures more effective financing for projects under the Belt and Road Initiative, illustrating a pioneering approach to multilateral economic cooperation among emerging economies. Promotion of Chinese yuan use in bilateral trade. The active promotion of the Chinese yuan as a preferred currency for bilateral trade settlements reflects a strategic shift in Egypt-China financial relations. Encouraging transactions in yuan eliminates intermediate currency conversions, reducing associated costs and exchange rate risks for exporters and importers. This initiative also supports China's goal to internationalize the yuan by expanding its acceptance in key trading partners. For Egypt, adopting yuan payments strengthens financial sovereignty, increases flexibility in trade financing, and facilitates smoother cross-border transactions. It encourages closer integration between the respective financial ecosystems of both countries, supporting the digitalization of payments and enhancing the efficiency of their growing trade volumes. Settlement of payments in local currencies. Recent agreements enable trade payments to be settled directly in local currencies, the Egyptian pound and the Chinese yuan, streamlining bilateral financial flows. This approach eliminates the need for conversion through widely used global currencies, significantly lowering transaction fees and settlement delays. By encouraging businesses to use their home currencies, the mechanism fosters stability and predictability in trade finance. It promotes financial inclusion, making it easier for small and medium enterprises to participate in cross-border commerce. Moreover, this arrangement lays the groundwork for deeper institutional and regulatory cooperation, advancing digital payment systems and strengthening the foundations for sustainable economic partnership between Egypt and China. Egypt's plan to issue Panda bonds in the Chinese market. Egypt has successfully issued a 3-year sustainable Panda bond valued at approximately $479 million, becoming the first country in the Middle East and Africa to access China's domestic debt market through this instrument. The bond issuance is backed by credit guarantees from the African Development Bank and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, which enhances investor confidence and reduces borrowing costs. This funding supports Egypt's Vision 2030 by financing sustainable development projects such as clean transportation, water management, renewable energy, and digital infrastructure. Panda bonds offer Egypt an opportunity to diversify its sources of capital and tap into a new base of Chinese investors while benefiting from relatively low coupon rates. This move also helps internationalize the yuan and strengthens financial cooperation, opening pathways for further economic integration between Egypt and China within the Belt and Road Initiative framework. Role of the Suez Canal Bank and Panda China-Africa Investment Partnership. The strategic partnership between Suez Canal Bank and Panda China-Africa Investment Co. plays a vital role in developing the China-Egypt Economic and Trade Cooperation Zone near Ain Sokhna, adjacent to the Suez Canal. By collaborating, they promote the use of the Chinese yuan in trade and investment activities within this zone, fostering closer financial integration aligned with Belt and Road Initiative goals. The partnership also facilitates integration with China's cross-border interbank payment system, enabling more efficient yuan-denominated transactions. This cooperation improves Egypt's position as a regional industrial and logistics hub, linking Asia, Europe, and Africa. Combining financial services expertise and infrastructure investment, the Suez Canal Bank and Panda Investment Company support industrial growth, foreign direct investment, and enhanced trade facilitation in the economic zone. Integration and linking of Egyptian and Chinese payment systems. Efforts to integrate Egyptian and Chinese payment systems focus on enabling quicker, more secure, and cost-effective bilateral trade settlements directly in local currencies. This linkage reduces dependence on intermediary currencies such as the US dollar, cutting transaction costs and currency exchange risks. Connecting the payment infrastructure supports real-time settlement between financial institutions, benefiting cross-border businesses by improving liquidity management and enhancing financial transparency. The integration also fosters digital innovation, facilitating electronic payments and paving the way for future collaboration on digital currencies. By linking these systems, Egypt and China strengthen their economic partnership's foundation, enabling smoother commerce and financial flows as trade volumes between the two countries grow under their broadening bilateral cooperation. Expansion of digital payment infrastructure with UnionPay, an Egyptian banks company. The collaboration between UnionPay, the world's largest card payment network, and the Egyptian banks company aims to significantly expand Egypt's digital payment infrastructure. This partnership enhances the acceptance of UnionPay cards at physical retail points, ATMs, and online platforms throughout Egypt. As a result, Chinese tourists and investors can use their payment cards seamlessly during visits or business operations, facilitating cross-border spending and investment. For Egyptian merchants and service providers, this development opens direct access to the Chinese consumer market. This initiative aligns with Egypt's financial inclusion agenda and promotes the growth of the digital economy by encouraging cashless transactions. Strengthening Egypt's payment infrastructure with a global leader like UnionPay fosters broader economic integration and supports the expansion of digital commerce and mobile payments across the region. Cooperation with PayMob to boost electronic payment acceptance in Egypt. Egypt's partnership with PayMob, a leading regional fintech company, targets accelerating the adoption of electronic payments across retail, small and medium enterprises, and e-commerce sectors. PayMob's innovative payment solutions enable merchants to accept multiple digital payment methods efficiently and securely, including mobile wallets, QR codes, and card payments. This expansion supports Egypt's national agenda for digital transformation and financial inclusion by providing accessible payment tools to underbanked businesses and consumers. Moreover, PayMob's collaboration with Chinese payment providers enhances interoperability between Egyptian and Chinese financial ecosystems, facilitating easier cross-border transactions. The cooperation strengthens Egypt's fintech landscape, boosting economic growth, broadening consumer choice, and advancing the country's goal to establish itself as a leading digital economy hub in Africa and the Middle East. Impact of these agreements on Egypt-China Economic and Trade Cooperation Zone near the Suez Canal. The recent financial and trade agreements markedly accelerate development within the Egypt-China Economic and Trade Cooperation Zone near the Suez Canal. Covering more than 7 square kilometers in Ain Sokhna, the zone benefits from enhanced infrastructure, supporting a diverse industrial base that includes manufacturing, logistics, and service sectors. These agreements encourage increased investment, particularly from Chinese enterprises, fostering a dynamic business ecosystem with preferential tax policies and bonded warehouses. The zone's expansion includes urban and residential areas, creating integrated commercial hubs and boosting local employment opportunities, with projections of tens of thousands of new jobs. Importantly, the agreements facilitate Yuan-based trade settlements and digital payment integration, streamlining cross-border transactions and reducing costs. This comprehensive cooperation turns the zone into a flagship project within the Belt and Road Initiative, reinforcing Egypt's role as a vital nexus for global commerce and industrial transformation. Strategic significance of the agreements for Egypt as a regional trade and logistics hub. The recent agreements solidify Egypt's position as a strategic trade and logistics hub, bridging Africa, Asia, and Europe. Leveraging the Suez Canal's pivotal location, these accords enhance Egypt's capacity to serve as a gateway for global shipping and commerce. By streamlining financial operations and encouraging local currency settlements, the agreements reduce transaction costs and currency risks, attracting greater foreign direct investment and boosting export competitiveness. Infrastructure improvements paired with supportive policies enable Egypt to handle increased cargo volumes and logistics services efficiently. The collaboration aligns with Egypt's Vision 2030, aiming for sustainable industrial growth, job creation, and diversified economic activities. Furthermore, Egypt's integration into China's Belt and Road Initiative strengthens its influence in regional trade routes, making it a critical pivot for international supply chains and a magnet for multinational companies seeking access to emerging markets. Enhancement of financial innovation and digital currency collaboration. The agreements represent a major step forward in financial innovation and digital currency cooperation between Egypt and China. They promote the integration of cutting-edge financial technologies, including cross-border payment systems, enabling real-time, cost-effective settlements directly between the Egyptian pound and the Chinese yuan. This advances efforts in central bank digital currencies and fintech solutions designed to facilitate seamless international commerce. Egypt and China's central banks are collaborating on digital currency pilot projects, exploring interoperability and secure transaction frameworks to reduce dependence on traditional banking networks. These initiatives improve transparency and ease of doing business, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises. Digital innovation underpins the modernization of their financial ecosystems, fostering inclusion and increasing resilience against global financial volatility, thereby setting a benchmark for emerging economies' monetary cooperation. Statements from Egyptian and Chinese central bank governors on the cooperation. Both the Central Bank of Egypt and the People's Bank of China governors emphasize the groundbreaking nature of their financial collaboration. Egypt's governor highlights the agreements as a historic milestone in bilateral cooperation, expressing confidence that expanding currency swap facilities and local currency settlements will boost trade volume and reduce reliance on third currencies. The Chinese governor affirms China's commitment to supporting Egypt's economic development through innovation in payment infrastructures and joint digital currency research. Both leaders recognize the partnership as a model for South-South cooperation, reflecting mutual trust and strategic alignment under the Belt and Road Initiative. Their statements underscore how this collaboration strengthens financial stability, encourages investment, and positions the two nations as pioneers in bilateral monetary integration among developing countries. Strengthening Egypt-China economic ties and Belt and Road Initiative integration. Looking ahead, the financial cooperation agreements set the stage for deeper Egypt-China economic integration and enhanced Belt and Road Initiative implementation. The partnerships will encourage increased Chinese investment across sectors such as energy, infrastructure, manufacturing, and technology within Egypt. Enhanced payment systems and settlement mechanisms will improve trade efficiency and open pathways for innovative financial products like Panda bonds and digital currencies. Egypt's role as a regional logistics hub is expected to intensify through further development of the Suez Canal Economic Zone, attracting multinational enterprises. Policy coordination may expand into areas of regulatory harmonization and joint ventures. The outlook reflects a long-term strategic vision anchored in sustainable development, technological advancement, and increased cross-border economic activity, ultimately strengthening regional connectivity and shared prosperity. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned as Egypt and China continue to reshape global trade and finance with bold partnerships. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this evolving story. Until next time, keep an eye on the future of international cooperation.